Okay, let us start our today's topic. Reflection of light at curved surface. Reflection of light at curved surfaces. Yes. In the last class, we have studied about what are the spherical mirrors and the types of spherical mirrors. Terms related to the spherical mirrors we have studied.
Sir.
How many types of spherical mirrors are there?
Two types.
Two types. What are that?
Concave.
One is concave mirror and other one is the
Convex.
convex mirror. Right? What is the concave mirror definition? A spherical mirror in which reflecting surface is curved inwards and the polished or silvered surface is bulged outwards. Or else one more definition also I said you that a spherical mirror whose center is towards the reflecting surface. That is concave mirror. And what is a convex mirror? A spherical mirror whose reflecting surface is bulged outwards and a curved inner part is silvered or polished. Otherwise, what we studied? A spherical mirror whose center is away from the reflecting surface. That is convex mirror we have studied yesterday. And the terms related to the spherical mirrors. First term. What is the first term? Pole. What is mean by pole? The midpoint or the geometrical center of a curved mirror is called as a pole, and it is denoted by capital P. And the next one what we studied? Principal axis. Principal axis. What is mean by principal axis? The horizontal line which joins the center of the curved mirror to pole. Center of the curved mirror to pole is called as a principal axis. And the next one what we studied? We have studied about that center of curvature. What we studied about the center of curvature? The point in which the center of the sphere from which curved mirror is taken apart. Curved mirror is taken apart is called as center of curvature. Or else one more definition I told you. The point which is equidistant from all the points on the reflecting surface. The point which is equidistant from all the points on the reflecting surface. Now, and next we have studied about the radius of curvature. The radius of curvature is denoted by capital R, and it is the distance between the center of curvature to pole. It is the distance between the center of curvature to pole. Now, the next thing is that principal focus or focus of a mirror. Principal focus or focus of a mirror. So, here I am saying the principal focus or as focus. We can say simply it as a focus. So, how can we find focus? The definition you see first. A point on the principal axis. A point on the principal axis. A point on the principal axis of a point on the principal axis of a mirror at which ray incident on the mirror. The ray which is incident on the mirror in the direction parallel to the principal axis. In the direction parallel to the principal axis actually meets or appears to diverge. Actually meets or appears to diverge after reflection. After reflection from mirror is called principal focus or focus. Simply I will explain you. A point on the principal axis I am saying. A point on the principal axis means here is a principal axis. These are taking us concave mirror. This is the concave mirror I am taking. For this concave mirror, this part is the reflecting surface and this is the polished part, and the center part is pole. What I am saying, a point on the principal axis of a mirror. Up to here it is clear, I think so. A point on the principal axis of a mirror at which ray incident on the mirror. Ray incident means we should consider incident rays. This is the incident ray. I am making arrow on this side, no? Means this is the incident ray. Already we studied in the plane mirrors. If it is incident ray, after striking the surface, it will be gets reflected. Isn't it or not? So, in the same way, this incident ray, after striking the mirror, will be gets reflected, no? So, this reflected ray is moving in this direction. This reflected ray is moving in this direction. So this is one ray we are considered. If we consider one more ray, this is the second incident ray I am taking. After striking the mirror, again it will be reflected like this. But you observe, this is also incident ray, this is also incident ray. This is the first incident ray, this is the second incident ray. These both rays are parallel to principal axis, isn't it or not? These two rays are parallel to principal axis. What happened after striking the mirror? Both got reflected. Isn't it or not? These both reflected rays are joining at a point on the principal axis. You observe here. Are these two incident rays after getting reflection are joining at a point? Both are joining at a point on the principal axis. Now you see another one, third one. If this one is incident ray, striking the mirror will get reflected, no? And this third ray also moving from the same point. If you have taken one more point, fourth point, let us take one more point. This also after getting reflection, what is happening? Means simply instead of this, I am saying simple definition. The parallel beam of light rays. If we see 1, 2, 3, 4, all these four incident rays are parallel to what? Parallel to principal axis. The four incident rays, you consider this as first incident ray, second incident ray, third incident ray, fourth incident ray. All these four incident rays are parallel to principal axis or not? What happened? After striking the mirror, got reflected. All the reflected rays are joining at a point on the principal axis. Isn't it or not? All the four reflected rays are joining at a point on the principal axis. This point is nothing but focus. This point is nothing but focus. In case of which mirror it is? Concave mirror. Means, you see, the parallel beam of light rays, after getting reflected, will converge. Converge means will meet. Will converge at a point on the principal axis. That point is nothing but focus for the concave mirror. Let us see in case of convex. This is a convex mirror. So here you see, for convex mirror, the reflecting surface is bulged outwards. And the curved inner part is silvered. So here In this case, we have taken the parallel beam of light rays. No, like the same way here also we will take parallel beam of light rays.
Yes, sir.
This is the incident ray. After striking the mirror, will move like this. Will be gets reflected like this. Will be gets reflected like this. That is the first ray we are considered. First ray. Now let us see the second ray. This is the incident ray, second ray. After getting reflection, what happened? This also moved like this. Like the same way, one more incident ray let us take. This is the third incident ray. After reflection, moved away. This is the third one. Right? Let us take fourth one. This is the fourth reflected ray. After reflection, has moved like this. Means what happened? 1, 2, 3, 4. All these are the 4 incident rays. 4 incident rays. After striking the convex mirror, reflected back. Reflected back. So here, what we will do means, from this reflected ray, we are joining the points like this.
Yes, sir.
Means, this means, you observe the figure, this means all the reflected rays are coming from one point. You see, isn't it? In case of concave, what happened? All the reflected rays are converged, but here all these reflected rays are appears to be diverged. All these reflected rays are appears to be diverged from a point on the principal axis. From a point on the principal axis, that point is nothing but focus. That point is nothing but focus for which mirror? Convex mirror. So here, instead of defining focus for two different mirrors, for this, what I am defining? The parallel beam of light rays. The parallel beam of light rays after getting reflection, after getting reflected, will converge at a point on the principal axis. Will converge at a point on the principal axis. That point is nothing but focus for concave mirror. That point is nothing but focus for concave mirror. That only if you are taken in the convex mirrors. What I am saying, the parallel beam of light rays. The parallel beam of light rays after getting reflected. After getting reflected, will appears to be diverged. Here will appears to be converged, but here will appears to be diverged from a point. Will appears to be diverged from a point on the principal axis. Will appears to be diverged from a point on the principal axis. That point is nothing but focus for which mirror? Convex. Focus for convex mirror. Simple. One thing you have to remember, that the parallel beam of light rays. The parallel beam of light rays after getting reflected, will converge at a point. Will converge at a point on the principal axis. That point is nothing but focus for concave mirror. Next, the parallel beam of light rays. The parallel beam of light rays after getting reflected, will appears to be diverged from a point. Will appears to be diverged from a point on the principal axis. Diverged from a point on the principal axis. That point is nothing but focus for convex mirrors. So instead of defining two different definitions, I wrote this definition. Instead of defining two different definitions for two different mirrors, I wrote like this. A point on the principal axis. Both are the point on the principal axis, no?
Yes, sir.
Of a mirror. It's clear?
Yes, sir.
At which ray incident on the mirror?
Yes, sir. And which ray are you?
At which ray incident on the mirror? In the direction parallel to the principal axis.
In the direction of
All incident rays are parallel to the principal axis or not? In the direction parallel to the principal axis. Actually meets or converge. Actually meets or converge. Or appears to be diverge. In this case converge. In this case appears to be diverge. Or appears to be diverge after reflection. After the reflection only there appears to be meet or there appears to be diverge. That's why it is called as
Principal focus.
principal focus or simply focus we can say. Principal focus or simply focus we can say. I think what is principal focus or focus of the mirror you understood clearly.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
In case of concave mirror what is happening? The reflected rays are converging.
Yes, sir.
In case of convex mirror the reflected rays are appears to be diverging. Diverging is nothing but moving away. Moving away. Converging means meeting at point. Diverging means moving away. That is the principal focus. Now, the most important thing is focal length. Focal length. Nothing is there. The distance between the pole and the focus of a curved mirror. The distance between the pole and the focus of a curved mirror. You see, this is a which type of mirror it is? Observe where I am silvering. Budget part is silvered means concave. So the center point is P. This is C. This is F. The distance between pole and focus. This is nothing but focal length. And if you have taken the distance between pole and center of curvature, this is radius of curvature, isn't it or not?
Yes, sir.
So focal length means the distance between the pole and the focus of the pole and the focus of a curved mirror is called as focal length. It is denoted by small f. It is denoted by small f. And one more thing you have to remember, that focal length of a curved mirror, focal length of a curved mirror is equal to half of the radius of curvature. Half of the radius of curvature of a curved mirror means focal length of a curved mirror is equals to radius of curvature of a curved mirror by 2. Radius of curvature of a curved mirror by 2. So here focal length of a mirror is what? PF. Isn't it or not? So PF is equals to radius of curvature is what?
PC.
PC. So PC by 2. What we are denoting PF? We are denoting PF by small f. So f is equals to radius of curvature by capital R by 2. Means we can say that focal length of a curved mirrors, focal length of a curved mirror is half of the radius of curvature. What can we say? Focal length is focal length of a curved mirror is half of the radius of a curvature. So f is equals to r by 2. Rx we can write that r is equals to 2f also we can write. And this formula is very important while solving the numerical problems. We are having some numerical problems in this. While solving the numerical problems, this formula is very important, because in a problem he will use only radius of curvature. If he has given radius of curvature, we have to find focal length. How will we find? Focal length is equal to r by 2. By substituting that, we will get the focal length now. So this thing is important, you have to remember. Once again, shall I revise? Focal length is It is the distance between the pole and focus of a curved mirror. It is the distance between the pole and focus of a curved mirror is called focal length, and it is denoted by F. And focal length of a curved mirror is equals to radius of curvature of a curved mirror by 2. Focal length of a curved mirror is denoted by PF, which is equals to radius of curvature of a curved mirror is by PC by 2. So PF is equals to F, PC is equals to R. So F is equals to R by 2. So finally we have concluded that focal length of a curved mirror is half of the radius of curvature. Now this is very important, and note down this in your notebooks. Now let us see the next thing is that while reflection of light in a plane mirror, like this we are taking now.
Yes, sir.
Huh?
Yes, sir.
But if it is incident ray, this is the reflected ray, means we have taken a normal. We have taken normal which is perpendicular distance, like this we have taken normal, na? Isn't it or not? So in plane mirrors, in the case of plane mirrors, the perpendicular drawn to the mirror at the point of contact is called as normal visit. Isn't it or not?
Yes, sir.
In the case of plane mirrors, the perpendicular drawn to the surface at a point of contact or at a point of incidence is called as normal visit. But how can we draw normal for a spherical mirrors? How can we draw normal for a spherical mirrors? You see here. Let us revise some part of geometry in mathematics. You see, you all are aware of circles. You know circles? So, in our mathematics, we are having one topic called as tangents and secants to a circle. One topic is there in mathematics, 9th chapter and 10th class. There we can understand tangent of a circle is what? Tangent for a circle means what? The line which touches the circle at only one point. The line which touches the circle at only one point is called as tangent. This is tangent. The line which touches the circle at only one point is called as tangent, and the line which touches the circle at two different points. Here also it is touching, here also it is touching. Isn't it or not? The line which touches the circle at two different points is called as secant. Two different points is called as secant. At one point is called as tangent. And one more thing is that for a circle there must be a center. For a circle there must be a center, isn't it or not? So one thing, this thing you will get in the mathematics, no need to worry. The radius of a circle is always perpendicular to the tangent drawn. Always perpendicular to the tangent drawn. You listen here carefully what I am saying. This is tangent now. This is tangent now. Radius means center of the circle to any point on the circle. Here what I am saying, radius of a circle is perpendicular to the tangent drawn. Means here it is a tangent now. This is the radius now. Both are perpendicular to each other or not? Means in tangents and secants we are having a concept called as the radius of a circle. The radius of a circle is perpendicular to the tangent drawn. Here also nothing is there. No need to confuse. You see here. This is a curved mirror. Which type of mirror it is? C is the center of this curved mirror, na? Center of curved mirror. If I have taken a line like this is nothing but tangent. Just join these points. This is nothing but the normal. This is nothing but the normal. Or else, one more easy method we can say, and that this center is equidistant from all the points, no?
Yes, sir.
This which is equidistant from all the points, no? If I have taken an incident ray, this is the incident ray. It is parallel to the principal axis.
Yes, sir.
Will goes through the from where it will goes focus. Very good. Means it is incident ray. It is reflected ray. This ray is reflected ray, and this is focus. This is center of curvature. Now we have to draw the normal. Simple. No need to worry. From this point is there, na? Point of incidence.
Yes, sir.
Just join point of incidence to center of curvature. Just joining the point of incidence to center of curvature. Then this is nothing but the
Normal.
this is nothing but normal. And the angle made by the incident ray and the normal is nothing but angle of incidence. And angle made by the normal to the reflected ray is nothing but angle or means already we have studied in the laws of reflection. The first law is that when light get reflected from any surface I use there, any surface, either it may be plane surface or else it may be curved surface. Either it may be plane surface or else it may be curved surface. When light gets reflected from any surface, then angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection. This is the first law. So this law is valid for, means we can say simply laws of reflection. Laws of reflection are valid for any surface. This is also one more important point you have to remember. The laws of reflections are valid for any surface. The laws of reflections are valid for any surface. Simple, nothing is there.
Yes, sir.
Where we will get the incident ray? From the point of incidence, you just join to the center of curvature. From the point of incidence, just join to the center of curvature. That is nothing but the normal for the curved mirrors. In case of this also, in case of convex also. Here convex is there, nothing is there. This is the point of incidence. Just join like this. This becomes normal. That's all. Like this, we can draw the normal for the curved surfaces. So today, just we discussed about the principal focus or else focus of the mirror, and then focal length, and how to draw the normal for curved surfaces. These three things we discussed today, and from tomorrow onwards, some rules for drawing the ray diagrams. And if an object is placed in front of any mirror, where the image will form, about that things we will discuss in the next class, and write down these things, prepare well. Thank you.